Hello everyone, welcome to Maple Systems Product Training. I'm Adam Anderson, your product trainer. So today we're going to be talking about Maple Systems products, services, software, and support. To begin, a little bit about myself. So I have a background in teaching. I taught in public and private schools for a number of years. And later in my career, I switched into tech. I learned Linux and became a systems administrator, and worked in enterprise computing for a few years, including high performance computing and enterprise storage. In 2018, I joined Maple Systems as a tech support engineer. And then this year, we've launched the product training program. Very excited to welcome all of you today. Thanks for joining. A little bit about Maple Systems, for those that are not familiar. We were founded in 1983. We're based in Everett, Washington. We're proud to be an employee-owned company, so we all have a stake in the success of our customers. We have over 35 years of leadership in industrial automation, and we strive to always offer high quality controls at affordable prices for you. Our customer base is quite diverse. It includes systems integrators, distributors, end users, and OEMs. We have a very friendly and knowledgeable sales engineering and tech support engineering staff. We have extensive online documentation and support resources available for free on our website, maplesystems.com. We also offer on-demand application engineering services if you're interested in that. And we do provide free tech support to all of our customers. Now on this slide, I have a set of our OEM product examples. So in these devices, a customer or OEM has integrated one of our HMIs or one of our HMCs, for example. So that's a HMI and PLC combo unit. On the left there in that frame is a commercial oven. In the center there is a vapor degreaser. And on the right is a shrink wrapping machine that uses one of Maple Systems' HMIs. Our mission and what we will be talking about today, we want to help you save money, reduce waste, and increase efficiency in your operations. So how can we do that? As for saving money, you could drop in one of our HMIs as a replacement for that of a more expensive vendor. And our HMIs can talk to over 350 different types of controllers and PLCs. So they're pretty versatile. You could use a smart gateway from Maple Systems to modernize a legacy application, so you don't have to throw out the baby with the bathwater. You could use a combo HMI and PLC to do the job of two machines for the price of one. And you also get free software and free tech support with your purchase. So these are some ways you could save money with us. How you can reduce waste with our products. You can get alerts when your jobs are completed. You can monitor your levels and so on, detect flaws in production, and you can also reduce on-site visits with our secure remote access tools. So we'll be talking about all of that today. How can you increase efficiency with Maple Systems products? You can automate logging and data backup. You could integrate with your existing IT infrastructure. Maybe it's a SQL database on the premises. You can delegate responsibilities and restrict access to critical systems to a certain set of users, for example. And you can aggregate data and monitor your operations plant-wide. Now we have a number of product families. We'll give a brief introduction to each of these product families before we delve into more detail. We've got the HMI series, the Smart series, that's Smart HMIs, servers and gateways, industrial monitors, the HMC series, that's HMI and PLC together, it stands for Human Machine Controller. We have the PLC series and the industrial PC series as well, with box PCs, open HMIs, and panel PCs filling out this category. For our HMI series, these are all easy to program, affordable. We can talk to over 350 different kinds of PLCs, and we've got different form factors. You can see some touchscreen HMIs there pictured on the right, and we have a status display station in the diagram in the lower left on this slide. The display station is the device pictured between the monitor and the PLC in this case. And these feature things like remote and local administration, data logging, visualization, alarms, alerts, and more. Our Smart series are powerful and versatile. They're built for the industrial Internet of Things. You can call them IIoT ready. They feature SQL, MQTT, OPC-UA. You can use them as industrial gateways like Modbus gateways if you wish. And they have barcode scanner and multimedia functionality built in as well. On the lower left here, we have one of our smart touchscreen HMIs. In the center is the set of our industrial gateways. And on the right there in that diagram, it's connected to one of our touchscreen monitors, but that would be one of our smart servers. Now, for our industrial monitors, we have a touch display and a touchscreen monitor. The touch display, this would connect to any Smart Series HMI. It's going to run a copy of the project on it and feed data back to the original Smart HMI. This lets you add more displays for any one given Smart HMI or server, for example. The touchscreen monitor, which we have on the right there, this has an HDMI input. It's great for using with a box PC or any of our Smart Series products. And in this diagram, we have it showing connected to a box PC. Our HMC series, these are expandable. You get HMI and PLC together. They're all class 1 Div 2 rated. You can add I/O modules to them, and those modules are also class 1 Div 2 rated. They have features like data logging, visualizations, alarms, web screens, customizable graphics, and more. And you can choose for programming the logic to use either a native ladder mode or an IEC standard programming mode. For our PLC series, these are also all class 1 Div 2 rated. You can get expandable PLCs and or fixed I/O PLCs. And with the modules for the expandable PLCs, they're also class 1 Div 2 rated. Here again, you can choose from native ladder or IEC modes for programming the logic. For our industrial PC series, you can think of these as an open platform with a Windows operating system. They're perfect for SCADA software. For instance, Indusoft Web Studio, we do sell licenses for that, and many customers will bundle that with their industrial PC that they purchase. These are upgradable in terms of the hardware and operating system. They feature a steel or aluminum chassis, and you can add Wi-Fi to these as well if you wish. Now let's talk more about our HMIs and cMTs. We've really got 3 product lines here in this category: basic HMI, advanced HMI, and smart cMT. And there's different form factors. So we've got touchscreen HMIs and cMTs, smart gateways and servers, and the status display stations as well. All of these are programmed using EB Pro. That's our free programming software. Now, EB Pro, you might hear this mentioned as Easy Builder Pro or see it written out as Easy Builder Pro, but EB Pro we offer for free on our website. We have a lot of sample projects for you to use so you can explore the different features, and we have a quick start guide to help you get started on our website as well. I like the simulation mode in EB Pro. It lets you test and debug your projects easily, and you can actually download EB Pro today without even having purchased hardware from us. You can build a project and you can run it in offline simulation mode to really get a feel for how it's going to act when you go and download it to an HMI. Now, this software, EB Pro, is used to program all of our current and future HMI and cMT products, and it has a modern ribbon interface. Now, that's to contrast with the legacy software, EasyWare Plus, that was used to program a set of our HMIs and cMTs, and that software is no longer being maintained, so we would recommend that you upgrade to EB Pro if you haven't yet, and you get all the latest features and security updates that way. But EasyWare Plus had a different interface. It had toolbars and icons instead of the ribbon interface, for example. On the right there, you see a screenshot of EB Pro, and a customer has opened their project showing a page with chillers, a number of meters or dials. Then we've got a picture sidebar on the right and an address map on the left. Now for our PLC communication protocols, as I mentioned, we can talk to over 350 different types of controllers in PLCs. That includes those from manufacturers like ABB, Allen Bradley, Beckhoff. We've got the CAN bus protocol, Emerson and GE, Modbus, Omron, Siemens, and many more. And I highly encourage you to look at our controller information sheets if you're wondering about how you initially set up communication between your HMI and PLC. The controller information sheets will walk you through step by step how to get started and get those two devices talking to each other. So do check those out. They're on our website under the technical support tab. That's where you can find them. Now for the basic HMIs, they have quite a number of features. They have a fast and responsive interface. You can customize the graphics. You can use online and offline simulation, of course. You can do data sampling, and you can tie that data sampling into various visualizations, trends, charts, and graphs. And of course, you've got your standard complement of meters, switches, buttons, and lamps. Here on the right here, we have a looping animation, and this was a video that we captured while running a project in offline simulation here. What you see in that project is we've got a trend display chart on the upper right, and you see those values moving up and down. That's driven in the back end by data sampling. So data sampling is the source of that data. We also have a numeric object and a meter and a slider at the bottom left, and those are all reflecting the same values, so you can see them moving up and down in unison. Here we also have some bit lamps and toggle switches and some animation that's occurring. And of course, we've embedded our logo for Maple Systems here as an example of a custom graphic. Now, the basic HMIs can also do data transfers, sending a value between an HMI and PLC. You can log and display alarms and events. We've got a few different ways of displaying events and alarms to an operator. There's an alarm bar, an alarm display, and an event display, which is more meant for historical events. We can do basic recipes with the HMIs here. So you might have a set of parameters that you need to keep track of for a given job that you're running. And you may wish to display those or allow an operator to modify those parameters during or in between jobs. So you can do that with basic recipes on these HMIs. We also have security features that let you protect your project or restrict access to certain windows or objects. And you can set user permissions and passwords, of course. The basic HMIs can also be used as a Modbus master or slave and as a TCP/IP gateway. Other features include extended memory and data backup, screensaver and auto logout, a task scheduler so you can run jobs, say, weekly, and time sync using either the real-time clock or syncing time with an external device like a PLC. Here we have some photos of some customer installations. On the lower left, we have an HMI that is integrated into a panel, and that is used in a wastewater treatment plant. And on the right there, we have a Maple HMI that's being used at a lumber mill to control and monitor their operations. Think of the basic HMIs as a perfect push button replacement. They all have an Ethernet and serial port and a USB host port for backing up your project and data. There's 3 screen sizes to choose from 4.3 inch up to 10 inch. They all have a 1-year warranty and have IP65, NEMA 4X, CE, and RoHS certifications. Now, excuse me, the advanced HMIs get all the features of the basic HMIs, and then we add things like email. So there's a built-in SMTP server that you can enable on the advanced HMIs, and you can tie this in with your alarms and events to send out automated alerts via email. You can also back up data over email if you wish. We've got a VNC server that you can use with the advanced HMIs too. So that would let you mirror exactly what's on the display from some other client device. For example, maybe another PC on the other side of the factory floor where someone's running a VNC client. So from there, they could monitor and control the HMI using VNC. We also have an FTP server built in, so you can use that to upload and download data to the HMI. The advanced HMIs can also act as an OPC UA client and as an MQTT broker, publisher, or subscriber. We have combo buttons that we can use here too. So that's a set of actions that will execute in a sequence at the press of a single button. We can do time sync via the network time protocol here, NTP. There's a multilingual string table feature. So that would allow for seamless translation of a project if you're working in different locales with different languages, for instance. And we have remote access capabilities using Easy Access 2.0. So Easy Access 2.0 is a secure VPN, and it can really help you to simplify your setup and your networking. For Easy Access 2.0, the idea is it allows you to access and control your HMI from anywhere in the world. You don't have to set up any port forwarding in your network or any static IP addresses for your HMIs. So this can really help to simplify things. You can modify an HMI project remotely this way. You can download a new project to an HMI. And I think my favorite feature here is the PLC pass-through functionality. So this lets you troubleshoot PLC programs for any connected PLC. You can get online with the PLC. You can force values if you want for testing and debugging. And you can actually connect to up to 6 PLCs going through just a single HMI that's running this Easy Access 2.0 VPN. The license, it's a one-time fee. It's compatible with any advanced HMI or smart HMI that we offer. And we do have select models with this pre-activated for you. I'll show you some of those. The web domain I like as well. So each customer sets up their own web domain. So that's a place where you can add new devices and you can add users, and then you can set the user permissions, determine who can access which device and log into it remotely. And you can monitor who is using this VPN service to get online with your HMIs from another location. The advanced HMIs have a number of sizes available for the display, from 4.3 inch up to 15 inches. We also have a status display station in this category, and you see one of these pictured on the right here. So this is a set of photos from a customer installation. They have the status display station DIN rail mounted there. And from there, they connect via HDMI cable up to their large screen TV. And this is a manufacturing application. So they use that to monitor their jobs and inventory levels. All the advanced HMIs have a 2-year warranty, and there are special options. If you want dual Ethernet or Wi-Fi, CAN bus support, HDMI output, we have Class 1 Div 2 HMIs here, Easy Access 2.0 with the license built in, and also models with aluminum housing. Here is the status display station more up close. So this has a 720p output resolution, and it can work with any HDMI compatible display or our industrial touchscreen monitors, for example. And it has a USB port built in for keyboard or mouse control if you want to use that. Here is an example of one of our dual Ethernet models. It's the HMI 5043DL, and it does come with this Easy Access 2.0 VPN license baked in. I'd like to show you one that I brought with me today as well. So this is it, nice and compact. This form factor is quite popular with our customers. 4.3-inch touchscreen display. On the back you see the model, and on the bottom there you can see some of the ports. So 2 Ethernet ports, serial port, USB port, and the power connectors too. Now we have other models with dual Ethernet and the Easy Access 2.0 license included. Those are the 7-inch and 9.7-inch models in this category. And then we also have a Wi-Fi model. It's a 10-inch display, the HMI 5103L, and that also includes Easy Access 2.0 pre-activated. Here are our Class 1 Div 2 advanced HMIs. So we have the 5070L and 5070LB. These are a 7-inch display with either light gray or dark gray enclosure. They're great for a harsh location. We have a customer who's using them in a food and beverage application. So they use the HMI 5070L to control wine bottle cork manufacturing equipment. Here's an advanced HMI with CAN bus. This is the HMI 5070P model. It's a 7.9-inch display with an aluminum enclosure, and it does support both the CAN open and the J1939 CAN bus protocols. We have a customer who is using this model in a medical application, and they use them to control their environmental chambers that they use for blood storage. Now for the Smart series, you get all the features of the basic and advanced HMIs and then some. For example, you have the remote access solution in Easy Access 2.0, license built in many of the models in this category, but it will work with all of them. You can use the Smart HMIs as an MQTT broker, including using more advanced JSON formats. You can use the Smart series as OPC UA servers and clients if you wish. And we have the database server connector feature too here. So that means that you can tie in with your existing MySQL or Microsoft SQL Server database. You can issue SQL queries, and you can get back and display the results. You can also update and delete data in your database from the Smart series cMT device. Now, the Smart series can be used alongside this client application called cMT Viewer. That's a separate app that you would install on another device like your PC, your smartphone, or a tablet, and that lets you get online with the Smart HMI, not dissimilar to a VNC client. However, the difference here is you can have up to 10 individuals logged into the Smart HMI using cMT Viewer, and they can all be looking at different screens and operating on that Smart HMI at the same time. Other features include barcode scanner, multimedia viewer, and CUPS printer drivers that you can use. And to break this out a little bit, as I mentioned, cMT Viewer, so that will work alongside any Smart HMI server or display station that we offer. So that would allow you to serve your screens from the Smart HMI, for example, up to some remote device. So again, that could be a PC running cMT Viewer, could be a smartphone or a tablet. And also we offer the touch display, which I'll show you in a moment. That touch display runs cMT Viewer. So the same idea there, you get another way of interacting with your Smart HMI. There's also a web browser-based administration page, so you can log into the Smart HMI and perform some administrative functions like updating your project, backing up data, and so on. Now that's different from the cMT gateways, which don't use cMT Viewer. In fact, they don't have any screens that you need to program at all. They're really headless. And the gateways are good for extracting data from any legacy or closed system. They also have that web browser-based administration page, so you can update a project or back up your data and so on. For our touchscreen Smart HMIs, that's the cMT 3000 series. So the screen sizes here range from 7-inch up to 15 inches. They all have a 2-year warranty, and you can get models with dual Ethernet or Wi-Fi, CAN bus support, or with licenses pre-activated for OPC UA server or for Easy Access 2.0, the VPN. The one I have pictured here is a cMT 3090. It's a 9.7-inch model with CAN bus support. It has all the remote access and IIoT capabilities that we've been discussing. And we have a customer in manufacturing who's using the cMT 3090s to control large cranes for lifting heavy components and equipment. Here's one of our cMT servers. So the Smart servers, these are great for applications where you don't need a local visual interface. They don't have any built-in display, but they will work alongside cMT Viewer. So you can have operators logged into them using a touch display or from another PC or smartphone, for example. These have an SD card slot built in for data backup, and there's models with dual Ethernet or Wi-Fi, And again, you can get select models that have licenses pre-activated for Easy Access 2.0 or for OPC UA server. The one I have pictured here is the cMT SVR 102. It has dual Ethernet and it has all the remote and IIoT features. We have a customer with a cleaning application who uses the cMT SVR 102 in their mobile mattress cleaning automobiles. So they have mobile mattress cleaning vans, and the cMT server is what controls the cleaning portion of their operations. Now we also have a smart server that bundles a display station functionality in with it. So that's the cMT FHD. So you add a HDMI output to a smart server. That's a 1080p output resolution, so very high definition. It has dual Ethernet access, and you've also got support for USB touchscreen monitors. We have a customer with a marine application, and they're using a number of cMT FHDs installed into a luxury yacht, and that's used to control and monitor all of their shipboard systems. Here we actually have a screenshot of the customer's project, and this slide just shows port main engine in the screenshot and a number of meters or dials to show the status of various things. For our industrial monitors, we've got the 21.5-inch touchscreen monitor there in the upper left. That's the cMT IM21, full 1080p resolution. It's great to pair with a box PC or any Smart Series device, but it could be used with any HDMI compatible device. And it does have a USB host port built in for plugging in a keyboard or mouse. On the right there is our 10-inch touch display, the cMT IV6. That is a hardwired display that will run cMT Viewer, and you'd connect it through your network up to your smart HMI, and that would allow you to have an additional display and also connect to that smart HMI from another location. It works with any of the smart cMT products, and it has a SD card slot and file browser and media player capabilities as well. Now for our cMT gateways, these are great for retrofitting a legacy application without requiring that you make any modifications. Maybe you don't want to modify your existing application, or maybe you can't. Let's say the programmer who created it originally has left. Maybe you don't even have the software that was used to create it originally, which would allow you to make edits. So you can still use a gateway though and get additional IIoT capabilities and extract data from this legacy application if you wish. You can splice one of these gateways in between your existing devices, and you can use MQTT, OPC UA, you can integrate with a SQL database, log data, set up new alarms, also email based on certain alerts or events if you want. For the cMT gateways, we have options for dual Ethernet, a transparent serial bridge in one. We have a gateway with an Ethernet switch built in, and also a model with Wi-Fi. And that model is pictured there with the antenna. We have a customer with a building automation application, and they use the cMT G02, the model with Wi-Fi, to aggregate data from several old devices in their plant and add in these IIoT capabilities like MQTT. Now here I have up close one of the gateways, the cMT G04. This is a model with a built-in Ethernet switch and a separate LAN port for management. I brought one of these to show you two in person. This is it, nice and compact, cMT G04. On the front here, you have the two switch ports and the Ethernet port, LAN port for management, and this can be DIN rail mounted. I have a diagram here now showing you how you could actually set up the networking with the cMT G04. So you can have your PLC and HMI just plug in directly to those switch ports, and they'll be able to communicate with each other as if nothing has changed. At the same time, you have the LAN port for management, and from there you can get data out and see what's being sent back and forth between those two devices, log it, and so on. So you can retrofit a legacy application with ease this way using the smart gateways. Now let's talk about our HMCs and PLCs. The HMCs, again, it's HMI and PLC together. So you get logic and touchscreen features in one. These are extensible if you add an I/O module to them. And the configuration software is Mapware 7000. That's also free software from our website that you can get. These are affordable and convenient for simple applications, and they're all Class 1 Div 2 rated and support Modbus communication. For the features on the PLC side, we can use PID controllers, encoders and high-speed counters, pulse width modulation outputs, and there's a native ladder and IEC mode for programming the logic. On the HMI side, we have alarms, data logging, trending, and a graphics library that you can customize. And there's the 7000 series here in the HMC product line, and also the 3000 series. On the bottom there in the center is the 7000 series. On the right is some of our 3000 series HMCs. We have a customer with an energy application who's using the HMC 7043A-N model to control wind turbines for power generation. For Mapware 7000, this programming software, again, it's free. We have a lot of sample projects and a quick start guide for you on our website. You can do both logic editing and screen creation with the same software. On the right there, you see a screenshot of one of the screens that's been created with Mapware 7000, showing Marble Color Sorter, an example project. And on the bottom there, you see screenshots of different logic that's been programmed. You can use native ladder or IEC mode, as I've mentioned. We have serial and Ethernet drivers available for select PLCs. We have an I/O configuration menu to help you get set up. And you can configure alarms, trend displays, user permissions, and more with Mapware 7000. It also has tasks built in. I like the tasks. They help to simplify the programming. So you can have a task or action execute at power on, or a global task that runs at every scan. You can also have tasks that are triggered based on a screen change or based on a button press, for example. Now for the 7000 series, you get touchscreen displays in 4.3 inch and 7 inch sizes. There's also models with keypad entry if you prefer. We have 3 inch models here with no touchscreen with the keypads, and both with or without local I/O. So if you get it without local I/O, you would just add a module in that case. You can get up to 80 max digital I/O points in the 7000 series, 40 max analog I/O points. High-speed counters go up to 25 kilohertz, and PWM up to 10 kilohertz. For the 3000 series, you also get a 10-inch display. These are all touchscreen. We have an SD card slot built in here, as well as an FTP server that you can use. You get up to 160 max digital I/O points, 25 max analog I/O points, and the high-speed counters and PWM go up to 200 kilohertz on the 3000 series. Here I have one pictured up close. This is the HMC 3043A-M 4.3 inch display. Supports adding one I/O module to it. And this is rated UL IP66, Class 1 Div 2, CE, and RoHS. I brought one with me to show you too. This is it, HMC 3043A-M. And on the back there, you may be able to make out some of the ports. We've got USB host port and USB slave port, Ethernet and serial. And on the top here, we have the expansion port where you could plug in an I/O module. Now for the modules, we have the 7000 series that's separate from the 3000 series modules. In the HMC 7 modules, you can get digital only and analog only modules. You can get them separate. You can also get input only or output only cards. And high-speed counters go up to 25 kilohertz on these. For the HMC 3 modules, the analog and digital I/O are integrated into any one given module. And high-speed counters here go up to 200 kilohertz. Now, for our PLCs, we have the MLC series. That's Maple Logic Controller. We have the FX series with fixed I/O, and we also have the EX series with expandable I/O. These all support Modbus communication. They're quite compact and affordable. They're all Class 1 Div 2, as are the modules. They're also programmed with Mapware 7000, and I think they're great if you want to pair them with a Maple HMI. We have a lot of customers who are using them in this fashion right now. For example, you could use an MLC as a Modbus slave. You can use one of our HMIs as a Modbus master. That's quite a common setup. Now, for the fixed series, again, it's fixed I/O on the base unit. There's 9 different models to choose from with different I/O combinations. And high-speed counters in PWM go up to 200 kilohertz on these MLCs. We have a customer in clothing and apparel, and they use the MLC 1F to get fine-grained control of their large industrial clothes dryers. As I understand it, these clothes dryers are nearly the size of this room, and this lets them get a significant gain in efficiency in their operations using our MLC 1F. For the expandable MLCs, there's 3 different models to choose from. And we've got the MLC 1E with a RJ45 serial port. There's 6 different models there. For the MLC 2E, there's Ethernet and serial ports. We also have the SD card slot and FTP server built in on the MLC 2E. For the MLC 3E, we have Ethernet and serial ports. There's more internal memory built in for data logging. And you can also do web screens with the MLC 3E. So you can set up a simple screen that could include some numeric inputs or displays, maybe some status bits or alarms, and you can have that accessible through a web browser from your network. These don't have any built-in I/O, so you would have to add a module to these in the MLC 3E category. Here I have one of our MLCs pictured close up. It's the MLC 2E with Ethernet. This one has built-in I/O that includes 4 digital inputs, 4 digital outputs, 8 analog inputs, and 2 analog outputs, as well as the SD card slot for data logging. I brought one of these with me to show you 2 in person. This is it. On the front there, we have a serial COM port RJ45. And on the top here is the Ethernet port. On the front is, of course, all the I/O as well. And these are DIN rail mountable. Now, for the modules that work with the EX series MLCs, any of those modules will work with any of the MLCs in this category. We have 12 different modules to choose from, and that lets you get up to 256 additional I/O points. We have digital I/O modules that support up to 16 inputs or outputs, or a combination of 8 inputs and 8 outputs. For the analog I/O modules, these support up to 8 analog inputs, 4 analog outputs, or a mix. We also have support for RTDs and thermocouples here for measuring temperature. We can support the alpha 1 and alpha 2 type RTDs, as well as a variety of thermocouple types, which are listed here on the bottom of this slide. Now for our industrial PCs, again, think open platform, Windows operating system. You can install any software you wish. First, the box PCs. These have HDMI and VGA ports. You can use them with the display if you want, but that's optional. These can be wall mounted or DIN rail mounted. They have a nice low profile fanless design, up to 8 gigs of RAM. For storage, you get up to 512 gigabytes of capacity in SSD form. You can add Wi-Fi to them if you want. For the operating system, you can get 32-bit or 64-bit versions of Windows, and that goes up to Windows 10 IoT Enterprise. Again, supports any third-party software. It's great for a SCADA system, and you can install Indusoft Web Studio if you want. Again, we do sell licenses for that. These are rated CE, FCC, and RoHS. And I think they're really great for pairing with one of our industrial touchscreen monitors, like the 21.5-inch model, the cMT IM21. Now for our OMIs, this is Open HMI. There's 3 different series in this category, 6700, 6800, and 6900 series, with different specifications in each. And the screen sizes would range from 7 inches here up to 21.5 inches. They all have dual Ethernet. For the RAM, you can get up to 8 gigabytes if you go with the 6900 series. And we have a customer in building automation. You see a photo there of the installation. They actually use an OMI from us to control the drive motors of the rotating glass floor in the Space Needle, believe it or not. And the PC 2300 series. So these are fanless touchscreen industrial PC, 15 to 19 inches in size. For these, you can get more power if you want, up to 16 gigabytes of RAM and an Intel i7 CPU built in. You can add Wi-Fi if you want. You can panel or VESA mount these. Again, they run any third-party software. We have a customer in building automation, and they're using our PC 2300 industrial PCs along with Web Studio to control cameras and monitor prison cells, to monitor doors as they're opening and closing throughout this prison. And we have a lot of other examples where customers are using our products, whether it's the HMIs, Smart Series, the HMCs or MLCs, or the industrial PCs. That includes industries like water and wastewater, oil and gas, packaging, for pencil sharpeners, for cremation equipment, for manatee life support systems, power plants, beer, wine, and marijuana industries, car washes, transportation equipment, defense systems, for snowmaking equipment, for state lottery number picker machines, for large telescope platform control, for controlling a retractable basketball floor that's installed over a pool, also for a racing horse treadmill control, for hospital room temperature control, and many more. Now to wrap it up, a little bit about our support that we offer and some of our other services. We have a whole team of tech support engineers that are standing by. If you call in with a tech support issue, you can talk to a real live person. Also, we have our free online support center you can access 24/7. We have tutorials there, frequently asked questions, sample projects, manuals, free software, and much more. We offer a 2-year warranty on most of our products. We have 2D and 3D CAD drawings available upon request. Many of these are already posted to our website, but let us know if there's something you don't see. We do repairs in-house, by the way. So if you ever have an issue with your product, you can have it repaired at our facility. That's at our headquarters here, and we can do up to a same-day turnaround. It depends on the device. We do sell communication cables, and we can make you a custom communication cable if you need. And don't forget to check out our controller information sheets on our website. These walk you through how to talk with up to 350 different kinds of PLCs and more. All of our products and inventory is stocked here in Washington State, by the way. That helps with our turnaround time, and we can offer same day or next day shipments, depending on if you met the cutoff time. If you're ordering an industrial PC, just expect to add a couple days there because those are customizable and configurable. So thanks everyone for choosing Maple Systems. We're looking forward to helping you. I have our contact info here on this slide if you'd like to give us a call, or you can email us at sales@maplesystems.com. At this point, I'd like to turn it over for Q&A.